a little bit. Let me just talk a little bit about the employee dress and the importance of employee dress. I always say chiropractors are the worst dressed professionals I've ever seen. So in other words, there should be some basic professional dress. And it's all based on reverse engineering of the culture. So it's not my opinion. I mean, how doctors are expected to look in India and the dress in India is very different than, Alabama. There's no way I'd say it's the same. But it is based on reverse engineering of that culture. So you can't just wing stuff. So, and you do want dress. You do want your staff in dress, and you want uniformity because it creates a team environment. In other words, patients will know who works there and who doesn't. Nothing worse than, an employee who is dressed in casual clothes and the person, new patient doesn't even know if they work there or not. So what I always recommend is staff members either wear polo shirts or scrub. Now, not doctors. Doctors should not be wearing polo shirts. Those are casual. So polo shirts or scrubs, long sleeve button-up sweater. Women always get cold. And the chiropractors are physically moving patients, so the chiropractors typically get warmer, so they typically want the offices cooler. And the women aren't moving around, they're doing administrative functions, so they get cold. And this is just a real common problem in offices. So always make sure you have a long sleeve button-up sweater for your staff. Make them the same color, okay? Polo shirt or scrub should be the same colors and design. Remember, the colors are purple or royal blue. Royal blue is healthcare, and purple is healing. Don't wear black, okay? So remember, this falls under the category, the psychographics of color. Color's already been branded. Colors already mean things. So just know what the colors mean. In marketing, I cover that separately. I go into colors and I go, these are the already predetermined branding messages of colors. Well, blue and white's healthcare, okay? So long sleeve, pick the polo shirt, Oxford shirt, or even an Oxford button-down shirt or scrubs throughout the office. So don't mix them. So either everybody's doing polo shirt or everybody's doing scrubs or everybody's doing an Oxford shirt, but don't mix them. Don't have one person do scrub and one person do polo shirts. Don't do that. Staff should be responsible for tan or navy blue pants, tennis shoes, or comfortable shoes. So like them to wear comfortable shoes. And by the way, staff always liked it when they could wear comfortable sneakers and things like that. And then navy blue khaki slacks that they buy. And then we buy them, whether it's scrubs or whether it's polo shirts. And you always want the name on the shirts, okay? You always want the name, so-and-so chiropractic, whatever, okay? Staff should have their own business cards. Make sure your staff has their own business cards with their title. It makes them feel good, believe it or not, when you give them their business card with a title. And then on the back of the card, I always put the benefits and an offer. Because remember, I taught all my staff members how to do educational sales. So on the back of that business card is where we book the patient. On the back of the business card was the offer. That was the offer. That was the benefits, offering the benefits. That's where the patient, the staff members signed off on it and wrote the scheduled appointment on. But the offer was on the back of that card for the patient. Because remember, my staff was not allowed to hand out business cards unless they scheduled the potential new patient within 48 hours. They were not allowed to. It forced them to walk through the educational sales system, is what it did. In other words, they booked a lot of people when they were out I can't tell you how many new patients I got just because they had on their polo shirts with, my office name on it, and they go to the grocery store after work. And somebody says something about, oh, hey, how you doing? Somebody they knew from high school or whatever. Hey, how you doing? I didn't know you worked for a chiropractor. Is a chiropractor, can he help with this? See, my staff knew exactly how to open people up, take them through the educational sales and book them. Because you remember, they got $50. They got the first $50 for that patient. So they're making hundreds of dollars every month from just, routine stuff. And a lot of it started just with them wearing that uniform out, whether it was to lunch or after work or going, people stop at different places. But anyway, just a couple words on work. So have the uniform. Don't let casual dress. Pick something that's consistent. So either wear scrubs, either wear polo shirt and khaki pants. Make sure you have a sweater. It seems like all the women get tired. Just have a long sleeve sweater they can put on in the air conditioned office, and then make sure it's embroidered. It's the shirts and the sweaters are embroidered with your office name. All of that is you buy that, buy multiples, so they don't have one and they have to wash it every day, and then they're responsible for their pants and their trousers. So I'm basically I basically paid for their, I did polo shirts. I didn't do scrubs. And I had the names on the polo shirts, and then I had the sweater and I had the name on the sweater. And the colors were all consistent. They were all navy blue. Those are all healthcare colors. So when you came in my office, you saw all my staff wearing navy blue polo shirts, navy blue or khaki pants with tennis shoes, and a sweater on occasion if it was cold. In other words, you knew they were part of the team. They were, because now I always wore a suit. Now I talk about that separately. The attire for a doctor is either scrubs or it's a tie. I didn't wear the suit jacket when I practiced, but I wore a suit every day with a tie. And I just took the jacket off when I treated patients, and it was a Worsted wool suit, 100% nice suit, fashionable suit, men's clothing, and it was a Oxford pin button-down shirt, silk tie, conservative silk tie, conservative colors, and so when the patients come in, I look professional. I had on nice slacks, nice pressed shirt. It was pressed. It wasn't wrinkly. I can't believe how many people wear casual shirts and they're wrinkly. And then, and I wore a tie. I had custom shirts because my neck is real thick, so I couldn't buy regular shirts. It always choked me. So I always had to buy custom shirts to make it feel real comfortable, so I wasn't feel like I was being choked as I moved around. Because you're moving around us a lot as a chiropractor. Well, let me tell you, I look damn good. You came into my office, you knew I was a doctor. I wasn't fooling around. I look sharp. Because images mean things. How you look mean things. How your staff looks mean things. First impressions matter. Okay? So if you're wearing casual stuff, you're letting your staff, there's not uniformity in your staff, you need to straighten that up. You need to straighten your act up. Get everybody on the same page. Get everybody, it also creates a team mentality. There's many reasons to do it. The main reason is for the patients, but there's a lot of other benefits, including a team mentality when everybody's wearing the right professional outfit. So, but anyway, staff dressing is a big problem. I see too much casual dressing and bad colors. I'll see doctors wearing scrubs, and the scrubs are black. I'm like, you going to a funeral? They're not even paying attention to what's called the psychographics of color. Colors mean things. Okay. I'll see doctors wear black and then red. Red means blood. I'm like, what are you doing? You got to pay attention to what's called the psychographics of color. There's natural subconscious meanings already associated with all the different colors. You've got to tie into what is already associated with the healthcare industry.